Yes, beautiful. We are here today. Hi, everybody. First of all, I'm Sandra Pelly, the Sandini Inner Dragon Transformation Specialist, as well as the Dragon Ally and the Galactic Shaman. I'm very excited again to do this third class. This is on our grounding guide today and how it incorporates or partners with both the inner child and the inner dragon. So, really happy that you're all here. Um, just a quick note on the replays. The replays are being posted and housed in YouTube, and they are starting to show up in your hour reminder for the calls. So they are for sure in the hour reminder to this one, the little you and the higher self. And ideally, that will be what happens moving forward. The rest of them will be the same, so you'll be able to catch up. Um, I'll make the same offer that I've been making on every one of these calls with the basic shaman course. And that's just more of an expansion into understanding the guides that are kind of earth and the heavenlies, I guess, if you will, the upper world and lower world. And I'll throw that link in there closer to the end of our call today. So let's take a moment to ground ourselves first. So inviting you to take a few breaths. Asking the mind, body, and soul and all aspects of self to be willing to receive and share, to accept, trust, and believe. Stepping into the power of the I am. I am open with no expectations, no limitations, and I am creating my outcome. Taking this moment to connect with the physical essence of who I am here. And when I say that I am, that is literally something that you're thinking to yourself. It's not that you're connecting with me personally, it's how you're connecting with yourself. So the I am connecting with myself, my little you, my inner child, and my inner dragon, feeling at one with each of these aspects of self. Recognize your physical body, taking a moment to honor and be in gratitude for the physical essence of who you are. Witnessing your little you, the I am, the inner child, witnessing that part of yourself. Taking a moment to witness your inner dragon energy as well. Being in gratitude for the inner child, the little you, and the inner dragon. And taking a moment to energetically light a candle and placing it energetically beside a beautiful bowl of water. Feeling the magic of that water, that candle, the inner dragon, little you, and yourself, your physical essence. And so it is. Beautiful. This has been really quite magical to be doing this 8-day guides with you collectively. I so am very appreciative to each and every one of you who chooses to step into whatever days you are able to make it. It's absolutely wonderful. There's a reason why you're on whatever days you're on, and the replays are going out as mentioned in emails, and they are housed in the guides playlist on my YouTube channel, Sandra Pelli the Sandini. So today's guide is the grounding guide. And I love this because there's so many different ways to ground, and quite frequently we think of trees in the forest when we think about grounding. And oftentimes when people are leading you through a grounding exercise, they'll speak to the soles of your feet and feeling the roots going down beneath the soles of your feet into the earth. And it just feels like you're very empowered when you get this stability of being connected with Mother Earth. Feels very, very powerful. And so what we're doing here is really connecting in with the calm of the ancient trees uh, and the natural breath that there is. And when we bring these pieces together, your little you, your inner child, really is striving for calmness, for comfort, for even maybe the physical touch and a steadiness, something that is constant in their lives. And that inner dragon piece is really planting their feet and showing a place to really be stable in, to witness and be a part of, if you will. And when we recognize all that, we can also see ourselves and how truly, like if you stood up and you had your arms raised, you would be like a tree, your arms raised like the branches. It's so very, very familiar. And the trees have this beautiful network in their roots. And technically, we do as well. Uh, we have this auric field or this soul energy field that's going out from us, and that's our feelers, that's our antennae, that's our system of gathering information and connecting as the trees do the same beneath the surface with their roots, having this conversation root to root from tree to tree and families of trees, as well as above earth, branch to branch and leaf to leaf. It just is very, very empowering. And so we're going to connect with this grounding guide today. And I like to do this in a couple different ways. And as I come into these classes, I really have no idea where we're going. There truly isn't a pre-designed script to this or anything like that. And what's coming up is an exercise that I love to do with my children and with the people around me. And I'm going to invite you to take a moment to close your eyes, taking a few breaths. And I'm inviting you to witness a shrub, a tree, an ancient tree, a new tree, whatever the energy of this is. Give yourself over to being open with no expectations and no limitations. And as we're in this beautiful sacred space, witness this bush, tree, whatever it is, and what you can see of it. Know that there is no right or wrong to this. It is what it is. Whatever you're witnessing is beautiful. There's a reason for that. And know too that even throughout this space together here, that it may appear in different manners to you, even during this space together, okay? That it's absolutely fine. This is a very dynamic essence that we currently are living in and through. So take a moment to witness this energy of this living, branched, I want to call it sentient. Introduce yourself to it. Some of you have aspects of yourself, just like when I introduced myself, you got to hear a number of different handles of who I am, or introduce yourself in first name, whatever feels most comfortable for you. Ask if it is all right to place the palm of your hand on it or over it, whatever the size is, whatever you're able to do. And feel the breathing life of it. Feeling in the soaking into you like this. It's almost as though there's a frequency conversation occurring between you and it. And in that coming together of your energy with it, allow yourself to witness what it is first showing you, because it has already been showing you things. I invite you to come back into this space, take a few notes. As you're taking those notes, I'm going to talk in the background a little bit about the freedom that you truly have in this work. What I mean by that is that your own, the essence of who you are, the essence of who you are, thank you guys, is what all is being shown to you through. What I see and what you see is likely going to be different because we are all each very unique individuals. Coming together in this beautiful space and focusing in on the grounding guide is the only real similarities that are going to come up here, as well as maybe some other similarities depending on what's going on. And we'll see how that unfolds as we speak of our own journey in this. I'm going to invite, first of all, would anybody like to share what they experienced there? Beverly, love to have you on. Yeah. And then Sonja.
All right. So weeks ago in our soulful empowerment class, whatever we
Soulful power call. Yeah.
you mentioned that there was something growing outside that wants me to connect. So I periodically think of that, but I just spent more time doing that. And what it is I have a beautiful blue hydrangea plant that my daughter gave me years ago. And it's very interesting. I always wait to see how many flowers. There was one time there was only one, and the next year there was so many, but it's blue. And I just have this feeling that there's something with the color blue that needs to unfold for me. But when you first asked us what we felt, I went right away into the roots and then just held the whole idea of beauty because the flowers are gorgeous and they just stay gorgeous for so long. So that and wanting to know and asking it about blue is the
Love it. Thank you so much for sharing, Beverly. Beautiful. Beautiful. Sonja.
So first I went to a memory of an experience I had with a tree where I went to Shenandoah Valley and saw this amazing birch tree. And it was huge. And it was also like with all these twists and turns, it was like really gnarly looking and had these deep red leaves. And um, I was like stunned because the tree at that time represented how I felt internally, like with all these twists and turns and just like not understood, but beautiful nonetheless. Um, and then I went to a weeping willow and I just was mesmerized by the swaying leaves. And I was just swaying along with the leaves. I don't know if you opened your eyes and looked, but if you had, I was like this, just like with this weeping willow. And then I remembered how I frequently went to a park with my grandmother that had weeping willows as a child. And I tuned in, the weeping willow was swaying, soothing, relaxing, and yet also, and thinking of the trunk, stable, standing underneath it in a storm, it's like sheltering, protective. And then I got the knowing for me today at this time was know what you will sway with, like when the wind is changing things, and what you will stand for and stay for. Like the trunk. And I've frequently have that dynamic of having like a very stabilized internal sense of energy and a very dynamic and fluid sense of energy, and like getting a sense of peace about that has been a journey that's ever evolving. And the willow tree just like landed like boom, this is your energy right here, the both and, not the either or, it's a both and.
Love that. Love that. Thank you so much for sharing.
Thank you.
Love that. Yeah. I'll share mine as well. And then Wendy, Brooke, Simone, Leslie, if either of you would like to as well, definitely would welcome that. For myself, I got this really large expansiveness of all I could see was bark, but it was very wide. So it was like all encompassing in front of me. And in that, we were asked or guided to, asked about putting a hand on or with, and I was welcome to, and it was both hands, and I could feel, of course, the roughness and really recognize the actual broadness of this. And of course, coming from, for those of you who know me, I'm very much about moving past the human concept, meaning knowing what I know kind of thing, and wanting to move past that into knowing more. And with that, giving myself over to what this tree was, it was like I instantly was gifted one of those images where it's like a great big plateau and the top is very flat, like it's been cut down and it's actually ringed, but this is actually like miles wide. And some of us may have seen some of these photos of these, what they think may have been an ancient forest on Earth that are beyond our human understanding or being able to witness. And that's what I was being shown, was that this tree that was of that time, of that size. And when we were asked to to witness whatever else it wanted to show us, I literally got the forest with it as well. And it was awe-inspiring, I guess you could say. It was pretty interesting. I've never been there before. So yeah, very, very powerful. Would anybody else like to share, Simone? You can write it in the chat if you want to share it that way, any of the people who are not on camera, or if you want to unmute when I'm done with Simone, you're definitely welcome. And thank you, Simone.
When you're done with me, that sounds so strange.
My apologies. You know what I mean, with love.
Well, what I got to see was a really big ancient oak. And, it was really oozing wisdom, strength. And it was really grounded and at the same time expensive. And interesting is that we know each other. I didn't have to say who I was, we knew. And there was not once a word spoken. I wasn't really shown something. It's just there is that connection and it's ancient. So, we know each other since, it's small. Since the tree was small. That's so ancient. And it's like, it's always there. I feel that connection, it has always been there, but it was hidden for me because I was, well, let's say not really inside of myself. I was out there somewhere. I don't know where I was. I had to search for myself, and it's really this center. There's no need to ground because I am grounded. It's just really fully being present with myself and who is there with me. That's what I feel. It's really interesting. I can really feel that energy. It's so powerful. It's that story that we have. We are alone when stuff happens. Maybe we are alone. There's not another human, but we are never alone. I can feel it because that tree is always there, has always been there. And it's like, I can't really describe it. It's really kind of family.
Yes. Thank you. Yeah, thank you so much for your share. Wow, I love that. When we lean into what each of us have spoken of, even the hydrangea, there's so much power in the why behind it and the connection. Okay. With the hydrangea, I mean, it started from a seed from somewhere at some point. And again, if you move past the human concept of, oh, Beverly planted that tree or she, was gifted that from her daughter. Well, the reality is that this plant has been on Earth for how long, right? It's a well-established species, just like the trees that some of us spoke of, and very, very powerful. Brooke wrote, I could feel the energy in my hand and a very tall trunk of a tree standing. She was standing behind it. Oh, I gotta move this little piece here. There we go. And a bright white light being in its presence. Beautiful, very beautiful expansion. What Simone said there is kind of leaning into what's showing up, why this is showing up for you as well. There's so much power in that. You can also, like, how does this want to come through? I used to think, oh, thank you guys. I used to think that it was that whatever showed up for you was indicative of how much how old your soul was. And I'm recognizing now too that it's maybe about this, and I don't know if I'm using the word right, the spatial awareness of where you're at. It could be that. And I love too what Simone just wrote in about the hydrangea, that it's saying, I show you how to bloom brightly. Given the conversations that I've had with Beverly about some of the work, like I don't know, you guys, Beverly could have her own call and show and like she is so magical, and the amount of information that this woman um, gathers and brings together and has the ability to quote from and share is remarkable. And one of the things that has been brought to her attention was these next steps that she's being asked to do. And so what you wrote in there, Simone, about what the hydrangea says about I show you how to bloom brightly is giving her another piece of that, right? Very, very powerful. So let's take a moment now to close our eyes again, taking a few breaths, witnessing that plant, shrub, tree, whatever it is, and how your little you, your inner child, is interacting with that same beautiful being. Give thanks between the little you and the plant. And come back into this space. I'd like to share with mine. What was really fascinating is that in that first part of this, when we were literally doing the connection, creating the connection, first of all, with ourselves, and we did the feeling and recognize the more of it. I said I recognized there was a forest there. When we went in this time and I involved my little you, I totally all of a sudden had this moment of I didn't have any idea what the forest actually was because I was gifted a leaf. And I had no idea that it was a leafed tree. I don't know if I assumed something, but what, or whether there was importance to knowing that. But before that, I just knew there was a forest there, even though I didn't know what type of trees they were. So I find that really fascinating. The leaf was big enough to be a blanket. Like it's this big blanket that I wrapped around myself. And in that, I felt the shelter. I felt the shelter of the tree. I felt the shelter of the blanket of leaf. And then there was this throbbing, a beautiful throbbing. And I literally felt it viscerally. I felt it energetically. I felt it in the very essence of who I am sitting here. And this beautiful connection with that throb. And so now for myself, and I invite you each to do this with my following suit with what I'm doing now. With this feeling of that throb, the witnessing of the leaf, the understanding of the bark and the tree and the size, I am now really recognizing bits and pieces of how I can be grounding in and recognize that I am grounded. I recognize that I'm grounded when I'm on my bicycle and I feel the bark of a tree. I recognize that I'm grounded when I have this essence of being wrapped in a blanket that's the leaf of this tree. Whatever it is, I feel like I've taken it that much more deeply now. Would somebody else like to share? Simone.
Honestly, I have to breathe because what happened was there was so much love. The inner child loves that tree deeply, and the tree loves that inner child deeply. So it went back and forth, and it was like, honestly, it's hitting me in my core. And I really had to help myself back in trying to compromise. It's like, please, dim down, dim down. It's really allowing it just to be there. Because in human life, I had to dim it to survive. But that's not it. To witness what actually really is there is shocking. It is shocking. That shows me how much I had to let go of myself. And it didn't do me well.
Simone, I feel like you've had a come to Jesus moment with this tree. If that's the phrase that catches you, I'm feeling it. I'm really feeling this with you.
Yes, it's, when you choose a family where there isn't love and where there is a lot of trauma, especially when it's around abuse, it's horrendous. And it just shows me who I really am. And it's interesting because in a sense, the tree shows me how strong I am, that I survived this, and I'm able to love still, despite really having to hold back and really letting go of myself. That's one of the reasons why I don't have an ID with what was going on. In a sense, I think it did me well because I had to reclaim who I am, and it's different if you come in with it and you actually don't know, or if you come in with it and have to let go and then reclaim it. It's totally different because you really understand in a multi-dimensional way who you actually are and what that all means.
Wow. There's a lot of really deep understanding of loving oneself in this. Very, very deep. Thank you for your share. Beautiful. Brooke wrote, my inner child was laying on the ground, looking up the tree to the top and watching it sway, thinking I want to climb to the top and feel the power of being so high up. And Brooke, you can do that whenever you want. What's beautiful about this work that we do when we choose to be in this space, whether we're together in a group like this or whether we're, laying on our couch or laying on the grass, laying on a beach, laying on our bed, sitting in a car, sitting at a doctor's office, whatever it is, that it's all it takes is a moment of closing our eyes or even being eyes open and looking on something else and let that child climb that tree. Remember that you have so much power. Each and every one of us has so much power here that if you couldn't climb a tree in real life, that has no bearing on what you can do in this space of what you truly are. Okay? That you can climb that tree. You can be at the top like that, or you can physically and when I say physically, I mean you can go through the motions and the energy of climbing the tree. Or you can fly to the top. You can ride your inner dragon, ride on a bird, whatever. Slither up on the back of a snake, right? Whatever it is. Yeah. Very, very powerful. Thanks for sharing, Brooke. Beverly, Sonja, Wendy, Leslie. Beverly's got hers up, then I'll go with the.
All right, my inner child, little you, I really do prefer little you, was just absolutely delighted and in amazement because just a few weeks ago, this hydrangea was dead branches. And now there's all these leaves and life coming out. And there was just this whole thrill. She felt thrilled with change. I want to just add a thought for Simone. Simone, I've worked with the intuitive, and we've talked about our tree of being. And for me, the red oak is my tree of being. And I use that to travel into the underworld, to travel into the upper world. So I just make that suggestion in case it resonates for you.
Thank you for that. Beautiful. Oh, yeah, I could just keep talking and adding and talking. Sonja, you wanted to share as well, please.
Sure. I just love witnessing Beverly and Simone play off of each other's shares and support each other. It's so beautiful. On the first day, I was very quiet, and part of it was because the first day we did this of the series, and part of it was because I was just in this very peaceful space and just had this sense of just shut up and be. Just not in a mean, bad way, not in, just it was a time to just be. But there was also coming from a space of being surprised by what showed up for my inner child, because normally she's very playful and childlike, but that day she showed up standing very still, upright posture, and a sense of being very regal and very much the royal. And I'm like, oh, I don't want to come across as snobville here, just like, or a little adult that, or whatever. And I was just like, yeah, it's another reason to be quiet and just be, just be with it, notice it, and like, okay, and wonder what that means. And today it got kind of clear because today she showed up, and she was just dancing and she was just celebrating. Earlier when we were with the willow tree, it was a case of also remembering at the park with my grandmother and the trees of how at home I felt, how much I was mesmerized by them then, and realizing they were nurturing me then, and they were witnessing me and I was witnessing them then. And we've always had this like mutual regard and understanding of each other. And today she's just like, it's about time somebody sees this and gets it, that it was right, I was right, it was a both and not this either or nonsense that people try to push on us, and it's about time you freaking finally see it. And then it was like looking for this like swing, a rope swing with like a piece of wood on it, and finding none. She's like, no, that's all right, we'll just dance and sing and celebrate. And by sing, it's like witnessing the sound of the willow moving with the breeze, but also just singing from the voices, And so she was just full of celebration and like, bring it back time. Lots of fun.
Wow. I see you. I honor you. That was a beautiful, beautiful share. I want to expand your each and every one of us truly. Recognize those moments where you feel the hold back, you feel the resistance to share, because those are really critical spots in the how are we moving forward. And I think, Sonja, very much you'll know what I'm speaking about because of the conversations that have been had around you starting to witness your own journey, starting to open up in different ways in that. And I also invite anybody here, when you witness something, move like Oh, I just want to say so much and I can't say it fast enough, you guys. So bear with me here. Okay. Uh, with regards to you, Sonja, and this beautiful inner child who came across as very regal, and I'm not feeling like the word authoritative came in. It was just the way she carried herself was very, very magical. And I'm feeling the essence of ancient wisdom coming through this being. That there's something even um like when we do the hold back and we don't express something out loud, even if it's writing in our own book, if we're, like write it down. At the very minimum, write down what you're experiencing for yourself, because it's the pieces of the puzzle that start to show you even more. Okay. Um, I'm unsure if you heard everything that I said there, Sonja. I welcome each and every one of you to listen when people are saying what their experiences are. Broaden your expansion of what they're saying from right here. Okay? Because when I heard, and it's so fast because the information for me comes very quickly. I hear quickly. I want to express it quickly, and then it feels like it goes quickly. It doesn't mean that it's gone. It's just that it's all there, and it's some of these experiences are fleeting, and yet they're so pivotal to everything that we are. I invite you, Sonja, and anybody else, to witness that little you or inner child when they show up in the ways that they show up, because they're showing you a part of yourself, obviously, that is of this lifetime, a past lifetime, an in-between lifetime. There's so much information coming from it. And as I already mentioned, when we look at it from the human concept of, oh, there's my inner child, I remember that child like that, we limit ourselves. We stop the expansion, the openness of how much more can actually occur from there. Okay. Um, I have to tell you, I absolutely love this conversation today, the way we're going. And we have a few more minutes left of this that I want to tap into the inner dragon energy with this grounding as well. So there are definitely some people who've just joined us. We've grounded, and in my words, hear the invitation, open to it, and I let it happen. We've grounded, we've connected with our inner child, we've connected with our inner dragon, with who we personally are, and we have also connected with either a shrub or a tree of some sort. And just whatever that is, whatever the size of it is, however it's showing up, you too can do it just in the simplicity of my having said it just then. Okay? So let's now close our eyes and be before this plant, tree, shrub, whatever it is. We've already connected with our inner child, our little yous with it. We've physically have chosen to touch it. And when I say physically, I mean our energetic hand in that space. It's that place where all those things that we say out here in this world are coming true in that space as well, that realm. So now we're connecting with our inner dragon in this space with this beautiful being, the plant, the tree, the shrub, with our little yous, and feel the interaction that's occurring now. Being open, with no expectations, and no limitations. you are being invited as well to witness all of this occurring in one specific chakra. So whatever chakra it is, it's coming through in a color or a frequency or a name. And now invite the wisdom of your inner dragon and this beautiful grounding guide, which is the tree, the plant, the shrub, whatever it is, and the little you, to expand further on what they would like to show you in this beautiful chakra space. Now come back into this space. Either write in the chat or let me know that you'd like to share your experience. Go ahead, Simone.
Honestly, I'm really confronted with that game I played on Earth of thinking of myself as small, insignificant. Well, I know already that it isn't true, but what I got shown is really like, oh wow. So when the dragon came in, the tree was a child. It showed me with the energy of the dragon, that ancient one, and the tree looked at the dragon in reverence. And the inner child was just witnessing it. And I can't really describe it, because it's when you really witness your own self, your own power. Honestly, after that, there's no way I can I can ever play small in any way again. Honestly, they got me. They really got me. You know, it's that when you feel it and see it in a way that it is ingrained in your whole being, in every cell, there's no way you can ever fall back in an old habit of doing a thing that doesn't serve yourself, and as if you were small. And I know I'm not, but we are human. We forget when life is happening, when we're interacting with other people, when we still have our own wounds that kind of show up. Here, I'm here, you see me, you witness me, look at me, heal me, please. So this is really, I don't know, if the tree's more in awe, or if it's me that is more in awe, I'm not sure. It's really like, it's breathtaking. It really takes my breath away.
Thank you. Thank you. I want to speak to this a little bit because first of all, it defies human explanation to try and explain what you've just experienced. And I knew this was happening because of what I said when you connected with your inner child with this, right? That come to Jesus moment kind of experience. Um, uh, I I don't even know where to go with this on one hand. So let me kind of just go, just bear with me half a second here. When I discovered I was a shaman from the beginning of time, it felt like an impossibility to understand that, to fathom it, to be that. Like, yeah, right. Like what? I'm me. I'm this person in this lifetime. They're like that is such to me felt like such an unrealistic thing that could be a possibility. Okay. Um, I'm gonna expand on this a little bit here. So thank you. I'm just gonna expand on this, Simone. And for the rest of you, this is in essence what happened in 2023 or 2024. I'm unsure which year. I think it was 2024 when I wanted to move past the human concept of things. Okay. So it's our humanness that thinks that we're only this. And what Simone has just experienced is that it is so much more, that there is a lot more out there. And now how do I fit myself back into that? Well, you can't fit yourself back into what you were. It's an impossibility. You can only move forward from there. In that, I've often heard people say, I want to feel like I did when this happened. Well, you've already felt like that when that happened. There's no longer the ability to feel that way because you've already felt that way once. And it's one of those, you only get to feel that way once because that's the point of that feeling, is to bring you that feeling so that you know what that feels like. You can only feel that now as you keep moving in the direction that you've been shown, that's remarkable and incredible and wow, right? So in that moment, a number of years ago, I think that was back in 2016, that I felt that with that basic shaman stuff. Well, I have felt that again sitting with a broken pelvis on my deck in a bathing suit, listening to a person do a soul reading, and then I'm literally there, and Jesus Christ wants to say something to me, and I felt that in that moment there, right? I will never again feel it in the moment where basic shaman comes up or where this shaman guide comes up, because I felt that there. So when you have these moments, um, the best advice that can come through is know that you've already experienced that and you will never feel that again in that circumstance. You can only move forward from the holy cow, I've been empowered in this way from there, and step into it. Like Simone now, like last year it was like I wanted to expand and accelerate my spiritual growth, and that's what happened. And that's what's happening with you, Simone. Like, I don't know if you chose to do that coming into this year or not. I know that you've done a bit of work around different aspects of this. Go ahead. I see you want to add something.
Yeah, because funny is, it's not that I didn't know. I got shown who I am. But what they did just now is, they honestly, the card is a tower. It's like that construct that has been here with incarnating. It's like they've just crushed it down. I don't know why it's happening now. I knew it. I got shown a lot. It's not that I don't know, because I saw it, I felt it. But this feels now like I did some work and ancestral stuff was there. It's like now is the time really to, whatever still was there, really to crush it down. And I can't really describe it differently, because it's like there isn't anything what has been there anymore there. It's gone now. And that's like, whoa. Honestly, I can't really describe it. I can't even say how it feels, because most of, for me, is what I sense. I'm not only feeling it, I sense stuff multidimensionally. So I know there's no words for it, but it's so extreme. I didn't expect, that the rest of the contract that somewhere has been there, even though I wasn't really living it out anymore. it's like really, boom, gone now. We are taking it away. You're
I
not
love
going
that.
there anymore.
I love that. And I want to add one more piece to wind up this with regards to something that you said as well, Simone. And that is now recognizing, like you said, that, oh, I'm just going to let go of those old habits. Well, for some people, the old habits are more difficult than it is to let go because there may be an inability to recognize how to let go of the old habits. And with that, it's understanding that a new habit has to be created to replace the old habit. We can let go of things, but it provides a hole for something else to be put into. And that's where we move forward from. Yes. Thank you, Simone. We've got a couple minutes left. I've got another call that I'm on here shortly as well. Anybody else have a share that they want to share too before? I know that Brooke was talking in the chat about some sort of tree sign thing. If somebody has that, please share it into here for all of us because I didn't see it, so it might be in a private message in there, and I would love to see it as well. Thank you guys for interacting amongst yourself. I love that because this is how we grow and expand, right? Also, did anybody else want to share? Go ahead, Sonja.
Just sorry.
Oh, go ahead, Brooke, please. Yeah.
Just Beverly had mentioned about resonating with the red oak. So I don't know if that was something she learned somewhere for other people to find out what they resonate, or if that's just what she resonates with and that's what works for her. That's just clarification on that, please.
As I said, I was working with an intuitive, and she led me into finding my tree of being.
Love
So
that.
that's all the background I can give you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you, Beverly and Brooke. I just want to highlight a little bit there, and then I'll swing back to Sonja. I shared the basic shaman thing where we'll go into upper world, lower world, and into power animals and guides. It'll be longer classes than what we're doing here. This is just a quick workshop. Whatever, and I think that's so powerful. The question that Brooke asked about the resignation, like, does it resonate with you? Does it resonate with you? I'm saying the wrong word. Does it resonate with you? And again, at the beginning of this, I mentioned that this tree energy may show up in different forms at different times, and we could possibly believe that the hydrangea is an extension of the red oak tree showing up for her in a different manner, just allowing her to see what the blue is important because she's so beautifully connected into the red oak already. She understands that piece of all of this, or she connects in a way. So it's allowing yourself to expand on these as well. Okay. I hope I didn't mix anybody up with that. Go ahead, Sonja.
My dragon started hovering over the tree and watching the child self play under the tree and with the tree and was kind of in a way guarding. And then I got curious about that and was like, what can we do so that we're more involved with the dragon and the dragon's having more fun and the dragon doesn't need to guard? And next thing you know, I'm gathering what are willow seeds. I don't know what willow seeds are, but we're calling them willow seeds today. And they're in a little bag. And as the inner child, I'm riding on the dragon and we're flying all over the world, planting willow seeds. And then what I got was that we're the seed planters when we fly together, and we're planting the seeds of both and how the dynamic and stable can harmoniously work together. And that's what we're about and what we get to do when we get to play.
Wow. And now, Sonja, again, I invite you to move past, like, you could physically walk out and plant willow seeds wherever you went, kind of thing. I mean, there's a man who waters one side because of the dripping bucket on the one side and how all the flowers are there. Energetically, in
Yeah.
like I could just see this going so far past what I don't even know how to say this. Like what you're envisioning, allow that to expand out. Like there's a reason why I was gifted the galactic shaman. Okay. So there's something very powerful about this willow tree and the seeds that you're putting out there and what this willow tree imagery is. Like you could be energetically planting a willow tree in the Sahara Desert or in the desert that's down by Yuma in the bottom of California. Like there's no limitation to what you're doing. You could be planting these on the moon. You could be planting them wherever. Like truly, this is what I mean by expanding past that human concept of where you think it's going and just allow it to be whatever it wants to be. Wow, so powerful. Thank you for your share.
Thank you.
As we finish here today, it was really interesting for my inner dragon energy. It was so funny. I got very human and it was like, oh, I want to be on the dragon and fly up. And then I felt that it wasn't actually going to do that. It was because I had felt like how I personally was going to swirl around the tree, but that wasn't the inner dragon energy. That was me going there. And so I felt the energy of it blowing like steam or fire towards the earth and creating this beautiful cavern or space that was like a home space to this inner dragon energy. It just felt really, really magical to allow myself to move, just like I've been telling you guys, to move out of that, oh, I'll go fly with my inner dragon. No, it actually wants to go to earth, right? Instead. So very, very powerful. So I'd like to invite you one last time to close your eyes so that you can give thanks to this beautiful grounding guide. Give thanks to your little yous and inner dragons. Invite your inner child and inner dragon to continue to play together and ask if the grounding guide is okay with them to be hanging out together still. Or if you even need to ask if it's an implied consent, that you could always tap into this energy that's here. It's very much a part of you. And give thanks to yourself for being present as well. And so it is. Thank you, guys. Very, very beautiful. You guys are very magical. Any wind up questions before I close her down? We do have another call tomorrow. Tomorrow's a creative guide. I love working with the creative guide. Exactly. Eh? Okay, everybody, have a magical rest of the day. And ideally, this recording will be available ASAP. And I did understand. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, Brooke. Take care.